to become better in any areas of life. And of course, you can use everything we talk about here on the Sunday School webinars in your business. So for those of you who are smart enough that you're here, or you listen to these webinars, you take notes and you use these principles in all your affairs. That's working smart. You can work hard or you can work smart. And today, we're going to talk about, we're going to continue on a couple of the laws that we've been talking about. And before we get started, for you that are new, so this is how we do it. We have a 30-40 minute session every Sunday, and this is not about any techniques of how to use your back office or how to get different packages or payment systems, or this is purely for waking up your mind and becoming limitless. And hard work spotlights a character in people. And as you have seen, if you've been around for a while, that some people don't turn up at all. They never show up. You invite them, you ask them, you tell them, and they don't show up. That's their business. There's no point in wasting any energy on people who doesn't show up. Some people have egos, so they turn up the noses instead, in high up in the air. Same thing there. Don't waste any energy, no time. Focus on you and you only, and I promise you, you will attract the same kind of people that are in the same way that you think yourself. And we just go through a couple of great ones here with Kiyosaki. I know I used it before, but it's so great. And that is, focus first on your education, then the money will follow. Robert Kiyosaki. You don't have to believe what I say, but if I use a couple of these guys, maybe you do. And this is 100% me. I understand that, we never stop educating ourselves. We never stop. The people who stop, they're actually not stopping. They're going backwards. Because the day you stop, you're not stopping. It's like something is tied, a rubber band is tied to you. And when you stop walking, slowly, that rubber band would, try to get you back in where you came from. And you can use that analogy when setting goals. That's what we need, goal setting. We need to set goals, new goals. Every year we set new goals. Every month we do new things. So education is so important, because when we stop educate ourselves, we don't stop. We're going backwards. And these programs is for you. It's for everyone, and it's for the team. It's for everyone. But it starts with you. Leader of one, leader of many. If you can't lead one, you can't lead any. That means The meaning of that is, if you can't lead yourself, if a person can't lead him or herself, how can you lead anyone else? So it starts with you. You're building your character. You're following principles. You're making plans. You're setting goals. You're taking action. And you do that. And as soon as you have that knowledge, then you can teach other. Okay, so let's get into today's subject. And it will be a red thread here. It will be some repetition, something that we've talked about before, something new. Why do I love this? Well, because this comes from Zig Ziglar, one of the greatest. I had the privilege to meet him several times, and great man, great thinker, great author. And he always said this: you got to be before you can do, and you got to do before you can have, and you got to have before you can give. And some people, they want to have immediately. They want to have something, way before they actually have some knowledge, or way before they did something, or way before, so they try to take a shortcut of the principles, and you can't do that. You got to be something. Well, it means that you have acquired some knowledge, some truths about yourself and about the world. And because you are that person walking around with that knowledge, you are that person that educated yourself and who put things in action, because it's only when we put stuff in action we actually learn something. So the purpose is to become. It's during the journey of becoming, well, we acquire stuff. Isn't that beautiful? I think it is. So if you look at it, we're going to start this, let's say, we start from zero. No one starts from zero, but let's say we all start from point zero. And, everyone has started from some point at some time in their journey. What most people don't realize is that stuff that's going to happen 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 10 years from now is created right now. What? How can that be? Well, the future is created in the present. So I had my mentor, he had a great saying. He said, if you want a better future, you got to create a better present. And the better the present is, the better your future is. Makes sense, huh? So what does this mean? The future is created in the present. Well, break it down. Break it down. If you don't read anything, let's say you didn't listen to this webinar and you didn't do any presentations, you didn't talk to anyone, you didn't read any books, you didn't do nothing, or you're watching some stupid show on a television, television, and you're wasting some time with some beer drinking buddies. I'm not saying that it's all bad. I'm just saying it's wasting time. Sometimes it's fun to do that, of course. You need to have fun, but whatever you do in the present will create your future. So if let's say someone reads one book in the present and another one reads 10 books in the present, who will create the better future? Well, you go figure yourself. Someone is making 10 presentations in the present and someone is making 0 presentations in the present. Who will make a better future? Well, you figure that out by now. And it's all our own choice. We make those choices. No one else does. Then, of course, we can get help by someone kicking us in the rear and say, hey, move, do something. Come on, let's go. You know, that's why you need mentorship, because you can't help yourself. How can you? How can you help yourself? It's impossible. You got to have outer information, education, motivation, inspiration. So we make the choices in the present, which will create our future. And I told you before, there's no escaping from this principle. Wherever you are today, whatever you have, whatever you don't have, or you're missing, you think you're missing, or whatever situation you're in, you created that with your choices. And the choices were actually what you were thinking. That's why I always stress you got to change the way you think, because your choices is made by your thinking. Some people make decisions based on by their feelings, you know. They feel in a certain way, then they make a choice. Oh, you know, and they don't realize that feelings lie, because feelings could be old programs, could be old thinking, and it could be thinking in the now, but it could be the wrong thinking. So because the thinking is always before the feeling. You can't have a feeling without thinking. Try. You see, this is impossible. Either there's an old thought or a new thought, but there will always be a thought before any feelings or emotions. So if you make decisions based on your emotions and feelings, you're in trouble. You gotta, if you're not super disciplined and you know exactly what you're thinking, so that is, of course, is good, but most people don't. So they make their decisions based on their feelings. So they think that they made the right choices, but they didn't, because they didn't think right before they created the feeling. It's not complicated. It sounds complicated, but when you listen to me a couple of hundred times, it's not complicated anymore. And you can't listen once and you get everything. That's not how it works. But people think the way they have been taught to think. So if someone else taught us to think in a way, we use those thoughts to create feelings, and then we make decisions based out of those feelings. Where will that take us? That's why most people have problems, and they can't figure it out. Why? They don't understand the principles behind this. And there is two forces that drive people, and that is pain and is pleasure. Some people move because of pain, and some people move because of pleasure, and some people move because of pain and pleasure, and some people doesn't move even if they have pain. or pleasure? Wow. People can get used to pain, and they just start making excuses for themselves. Oh, who want to be rich, or who want to have it better? I have it pretty nice as it is, and I'm pretty satisfied. So they get used to pain. But we know it's better to get used to pleasure. It's better to get used to good things in life. What's the difference? Well, the way you've been taught to think. You see, it all comes around. It all will hang together in a red thread. Because people think the way they've been taught to think. So if people are stuck in pain and they get used to pain, so they don't use pain as a motivator to move. That's the way they've been taught. So it's better to set some goals and to have pleasure as a motivator. Why is that better? Well, do you like pain or do you like pleasure? Great. So the success formula for everyone on this planet is that we don't reap what we need. There's a lot of people who need a lot of stuff. But the thing is, they will never reap what they need. They will only reap what they plant. That's pretty unheard of. Well, I used to mention it on these webinars a lot, but so we reap what we plant. We are planters. So what's the best way to start the reaping process? If we want to reap, we have to plant, of course, But what's the best way to start to reap? And then you say, well, to plant. Yeah, but what should you plant? Oops. When you serve, you start the abundance process. And you go like, what? Is this true? Well, that's why direct sales is such a magnificent enterprise, because you serve a lot of people, and especially in like multi-level marketing systems, because you serve thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions. So why did the guy who invented IKEA, the furniture, I don't know if you have IKEA where you live, but it's a Swedish guy. He started the IKEA. Why did he become ultra rich, like multi-billionaire? Why? Because he served a lot of people. He had a service and that service was that people bought a package and they took that package home and put the furniture together in their home instead of bringing already, finished furniture put together from the store. So his idea was that if they put the furniture together, we can lower the costs because, we don't have to have a factory where they put it together. We just have to put the stuff in a box and the customer put the furniture together themselves. Brilliant idea. Well, that's easy. I could have come up with that. Yeah, but you didn't. He did. There's always someone that can say, yeah, that's easy. I could have come up with that idea. Yeah, but you didn't. He did. Anyway, but the principle is he served a lot of millions of people, hundreds of millions of people around the world. So you see, the abundance comes from serving people. It doesn't come from manipulating people or cheating people. If he was selling furniture that would fall apart as soon as people brought them home and put them together, it wouldn't be a success business. Most furniture is pretty good. It's not the most luxurious furniture, but they're pretty good. If you look at IKEA, have him as an example still. So the planters, if you want to reap, you have to start the abundance process, and that is serving others. So how can we serve others? We don't have a furniture factory. Well, we can serve people with helping them with education. You can be a leader, which is this program is all about. If you can't lead yourself, you can't lead anyone else. You can start with yourself, and then you help other people, and you teach leadership. You teach how to build teams. So you give of your time, you give of your knowledge, you give of the stuff that you acquired during education. You can give of your money. You can give of your empathy. What is empathy? Empathy has nothing to do with sympathy. Sympathy is someone that sympathizes with someone. Empathy is someone who went through something and have a solution of a problem and can help someone solve their problems. That's empathy. So there's, of course, many various ways, more than these four. So these are just examples. But when we start serving other people, like the IKEA guy, then we start the abundance process. So why, if it's that simple as as we're talking about here today, why doesn't it work? Because it's easy to do, but it's also easy not to do. And most people, they have a habit. Back to they've been taught to think in a certain way. So they've been taught to dwell on the circumstances that they don't want. And what happens when you dwell on of a thought? Even you don't want it, but you dwell on it. You think about it all the time. That's what you're going to get. Because it can't be in any other way. To think is to create. And that's why we need to take action. We need to get out of our wrong thinking, start thinking like a winner, and action always beat intention. People intend to get rich. They intend to do presentations, and their intention is to make money, and their intention is to start the abundance process, but they don't. They only intend to. There's a difference of intention and action. And action is the great fear killer. That kills all the fear in the world. As soon as someone takes action, fear dies. So to summarize what we've been talking about, we have been taught to think in a certain way that's not good for us because we make the wrong decisions. We get the wrong feelings, and some people make decisions based on feelings, which is wrong, but they will sooner or later learn that, or they will not. Some people are motivated by pain, and some people are motivated by pleasure, and some people are not motivated by anything because they fail to act on instructions. You can take anyone, you can take someone from the street, the homeless person. If that person is ready to take action, to just follow certain instructions, that person can change that person's life 360 degrees, totally. Woof, But those who do not succeed are people who doesn't act and have the humility to follow instructions. So people can sit on these webinars and they can get nothing out of it because they don't follow the instructions. And then we have some other people, they take notes and they understand that, wow, these principles is pretty neat, and the way it get explained here on these webinars, because we go through stuff here. Those are the successful people that you will meet, driving their dream car, living in the dream home, having so much money that it's enough for them and for 10 other people, so they can give stuff away. So if you do that, guys, you will also be successful. And the best of your life will be the rest of your life if you just change the way you think, because you're not who you are. You're not who you think you are. You are who you think you are. See you next Sunday, guys. Have a great one, and go out in the world and help people change. And remember, be happy, joyous, and free. And most of all, free.
2020 has come to define the importance of an online business. Earning an extra source of income from the safety of your own home has never been more prominent. To build on this, we set out to create the ultimate online business right in your pocket. Introducing Crowd1. Crowd1 is a leading global crowd marketing force set out to empower people all around the world. Our vision is to provide sustainable business opportunities for everyone. That includes you. Through Crowd1's easy-to-use, all-in-one software, you are able to create and grow your own team. You and your team then recommend and distribute groundbreaking online products, carefully crafted to the core, whilst earning commission. Mobile gaming, e-learning, digital traveling agencies, and more. With Crowd1's wide library of products and services, there is always a product that fits your customers' needs, maximizing your ability to market them. Organizing your work is important too. The Crowd1 platform is optimized for keeping structure and managing your business and income. Additionally, we provide education and training in entrepreneurship to help you on your way to success. These three components work in harmony to create the best version of yourself and your team. With over 25 million members, great products and services, and the right tools at the tip of your fingers to create and manage your own business. Join us today and be part of the future.